This video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon. Hi guys, I'm here with a video showing you how I created the chest piece for my Tyrande cosplay. To start off, I patterned out the chest piece using the duct tape method and transferred that or traced that onto 6mm EVA foam. These patterns, as well as all of the other patterns for her costume, are available on my store, Envy, and Etsy. After all of those pattern pieces were traced onto EVA foam, I then started cutting them out, and I used a pair of scissors to do this. However, box cutters can work too, and because I get so many questions about these scissors, they are nothing like super special. They're not some special magical foam cutting scissors. They are just scissors that are shaped a bit weird, and their shape is supposed to, or like the way they're designed, is supposed to eliminate some restrain. They're simply the sharpest pair of scissors I own, so if you want to cut foam easily, just use something that is sharp and not dull, and you should have no trouble cutting through foam. Once all of my pieces are cut out, I start gluing everything together. I use contact cement to do this. And there's only a couple pieces to this costume, so first I glued the two center seams of the cups together, and then glued those onto the main body of the chest piece. I should note that before I glued on the cups to the main body of the chest piece, I first heated them up with a heat gun and then shaped them around a clear DIY fillable ornament thing. You can find these on eBay and they come in a bunch of different sizes. I used one of the larger ones to help round this out, and I did so by just pressing the foam around the ornament, creating a curve while it was still hot, and continuing to press it around the ornament until the foam was completely cooled, and now it had a nice round shape to it. Since I had my heat gun out, I also went ahead and took the time to heat up and shape the main body of the chest piece by holding it and pressing it around my own torso until it was the shape and curve that it needed to be. Now I went ahead and glued the cups to the main body piece of the chest piece. I used my heat gun once again to even further shape the piece. So when I had glued on the cups, the body of the chest piece kind of lost its curve a tiny bit, mostly because the two were curved separately and in slightly different ways. So I just took my heat gun, heated up the entire thing again, and then formed it around myself and allowed it to cool. Be careful while doing this because the foam can get really hot, so you want to make sure you're wearing a thick enough shirt so that you don't burn yourself. I use my Dremel and sand down the seams on the costume, any seam that the Dremel can reach. Obviously, I don't really need to sand down the seam between the cups and the chest body. However, I did need to sand down the seams at the center of the cups just to make it nice and smooth. And this is all I sand for now. I'm not sanding the sides quite yet because we need to attach some more details before then. The next step was to start adding the beveled details. To attach my bevels, I used contact cement, and the bevels that I used were 10mm EVA Foam Bevels that I got from Cosplay Crafts, and I'll have their website linked down below. It is an affiliate link, so I'm not sponsored by them. However, if you do use my link, I get a little bit in-store credit that I am able to spend on future cosplays in order and use to make more videos and tutorials like these. I didn't bother to measure out my bevels or anything like that. I simply glued them on and cut off the excess as I went along, making sure to cut any bevel that comes to a corner at an angle so that it can attach to the other bevels at an angle and make the points that it needs to make or fit into the really tight corners. I will have an entirely different video all about how to connect bevels to one another and get them to fit around corners or into corners. But just to kind of like sum things up, when connecting bevels to one another, you want to make sure that the top edge of the bevels all kind of flow into one another so that it looks like it's one long bevel going all the way around the armor. There were a lot of bevels to glue onto the chest piece, and to figure out the placements for all of them, I looked at various reference photos, drew those onto my pattern, and then traced that onto the EVA foam and just lined up the bevels with the lines that I had traced on as I went along until they were all glued into place. Some of these beveled details come to like a point because they're just spirals or swirls on the chest piece, and they need to come to a tapered point. I have an entirely different video already posted showing you how I taper my bevels to a point. Once all of the bevels were glued into place, I started sanding all of the edges, and to do this I used a Dremel. And the reason why I did this was to make sure that the seams blended into one another and the edges were all nice and smooth. I took some of the 10mm EVA Foam Bevels, cut one end to a point, heated it up with a heat gun and shaped it into a spiral, and then glued that onto the top of the chest piece. And for the size or length of this, it was totally just not necessarily a guess. I just kind of held it up into place at the chest piece and then cut at the length, and then cut a second strip to match the same length of the one that I had just cut. And that's how I figured out the length. I didn't use any sort of measurements or anything like that. It was all just me eyeballing it to figure this stuff out. Now the chest piece was ready for priming. To prime it, I used wood glue mixed with a teensy little bit of water, and I applied about 5 coats. Be sure to let each layer of wood glue dry fully before applying the next one. I coated the entire chest piece in a white matte spray paint primer. I picked this specifically because it got the most opaque without needing as many layers. I find with glossy white paints, you can always see the color underneath through until you get like 10 or 20 layers on there, and there's like too many. That's obviously a little bit of an exaggeration. That was just me trying to get the point across that this only needed like 2 layers to get this opaque and fully cover the chest piece where you couldn't see the black foam underneath. Anyways, once that base was down, I used an airbrush to shade the entire piece, like all around the edges of the beveled area, with this greenish bluish color. And I chose to do this because her armor in reference arts will look like they have a greenish bluish tint to them, or they'll have greenish bluish shadows and shading similar to this. And so that's how I decided to shade my armor. Forgive me if my airbrushing looks a little bit rough. This was my first project I had used it on, and it was a learning curve. Luckily, with an airbrush, you can always go back over with some white to blend out those edges some more, which is what I did occasionally to make sure everything looked a little bit more nicer. If you don't have an airbrush, a normal like acrylic paint and a paintbrush will do the job. Just make sure to blend it into the white, and you can blend it by mixing the teensiest bit of water with your paints. Once that was dry, I covered any area that risked getting paint on it in this next step in painter's tape. And then I took my airbrush and started airbrushing silver onto all of the beveled areas, because all of her bevels, when you look at reference art, they're all silver. Again, you can use acrylic paint for this, or you can mask off the entire chest piece and use spray paint. Once all of the silver pieces are fully covered, go ahead and take off the painter's tape. And yes, I am sticking it back on the tape roll because there was so much that needed, like so many times that this needed to be done on so many pieces of armor. I just kind of reused some of the painter's tape because it was still sticky enough to do so, and it saved materials. I took a darker teal acrylic paint and a small paintbrush to even further shade the chest piece. So when I was applying this, I'd stuck like right next to all of the silver beveled edges and blended that into the green. I didn't blend it like past the green into the white. I just wanted to add a teensy bit more shading, and this is how I decided to do that, with a darker teal color. You can use a little bit of water to help make the blending process a teensy bit easier. I felt like this gave the armor a little bit more depth. Once the painting was finished, I coated everything in a clear coat of glossy spray paint to seal the paint, and then I moved on to the acrylic gems, To make the acrylic gem, I used resin and I casted it in an egg-shaped silicone mold that I bought online. There's tons of them out there. They're usually used for baking. And to color it, I used a blue film that's made to color resin. However, that was a bit of a mess for me, and I am definitely going to go back to the good old food coloring method to color my gems in the future. I glued the gems into place with a bit of hot glue, and that finishes up this piece and this video. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day, and bye!